Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now September 2nd of 2022, and as we get closer to other Star Wars shows out there like Star Wars Andor, The Bad Batch 2, Tales of the Jedi, and more, we have a lot of things coming for 2023 as well. We have, of course, Ahsoka, Mando 3, and a lot more to be announced as well at D23 and Disney Plus Day. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new Star Wars universe is that we have, of course, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and of course other creatives coming on board to really help steer Star Wars in the right path. So far, I remain very optimistic about what they have in store for Mandalorian Season 3, Ahsoka, and so on and so forth. And we also have a lot of things coming our way that will be announced at Star Wars Celebration next year, so keep your eyes open for that. Now, the thing about Disney executives right now is that they have a lot of big plans that are brewing behind the scenes, a lot of which have to do with the fact that they are trying to bring Star Wars back to its roots, and they're also trying to pretty much fix a lot of elements of the sequel trilogy movies that JJ and Ryan had handled some years ago. Now, given that we are, where we are today, a lot of fans are still divided ever since the sequel trilogy came to a close, or ever since the Kenobi movie, or should I say the series came out, and how it was not a movie, and how that led to a lot of disappointment. We stand in a very, divided Star Wars community that's very skeptical about the future still. So far, everything by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni is looking very bright. However, on top of all of this, what's even all the more exciting is exactly what Disney has in store for the Star Wars fandom. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now getting ready to develop their new Star Wars shows that will be announced in the near future, both Favreau and Filoni are getting ready to do great things with the Star Wars universe that will surprise fans. However, it's described that one of the big plans by Disney and Lucasfilm is to create a re-edit of the sequel trilogy movies that will provide fans a brand new take on the latest Skywalker saga films. These re-edits will be treated in a more extreme way than that of the originals, and what they went through for the special editions, with new characters being thrown into the movies and more. However, it's described that George Lucas is said to also join Jon Favreau in re-editing the sequel trilogy movies that will insert new great features for the films that will enhance the experience. This is said to be a big plan by Disney to drop these new edits of films by 2024 on Disney Plus that will involve a new take on the ending of The Rise of Skywalker and The Last Jedi by editing the Force Ghost to make appearances before Rey as she fights Palpatine. This is said to be something that George Lucas will be helping Favreau and Filoni with, and that actor Hayden Christensen is said to have already been in the talks to return and film a short scene to allow himself to be inserted into The Rise of Skywalker. They will also be using some archived footage, such as deleted scenes to help insert the proper Force Ghosts into the film. Now, I want to just pause here before we get into the even more exciting stuff about this. Now, given that George Lucas is coming on board of these re-edits of the sequel trilogy, which, by the way, is just fantastic, this is something that a lot of fans, I believe, really are going to be happy about if it does turn out to be very well done and executed perfectly. Do I think it's going to reverse all the criticism of the sequel trilogy movies? Absolutely not. I don't even think in the slightest. But what I do know is that it's going to definitely cause people to have some kind of interest or curiosity to at least check these out and see these changes or these re-edits and these special editions that will be added in to these actual movies. Adding in characters or adding in specific sequences here and there that's going to change the overall pacing and the meaning of certain scenes. So that's a big deal because it's said to be more extreme than what the original trilogy went through with the special editions. And that really does speak volumes because that goes to show you that Disney is very desperate to enhance the sequel trilogy experience. So this obviously is going to give fans a different perspective on things. We already talked about this about 2 weeks ago, that Other scenes that will be affected, of course, such as Luke Skywalker's death scene, is going to be surrounded by Force ghosts such as Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan, helping him achieve that Force projection technique. John, George, and Dave are basically taking fan creations and throwing it into the canon and making it actually possible, which really is something truly spectacular, to say the least. So, with that being said too, alright, moving on from that, these re-edits will also involve brand new scenes, such as all of the flashbacks of Luke Skywalker that will be thrown into the Rise of Skywalker that were cut, and even more so which that were cut by Rian Johnson from The Last Jedi. Now, this is said to not be confused with also the planned 4-hour cut of Episode 9, but rather actual re-edits and special features being thrown into the film to make the story better. Now, similar to how this is said to also have a big impact on The Last Jedi as well, ILM is said to also be involved with these re-edits of the sequels. Now, even The Force Awakens, surprisingly, will have some changes made by Lucas and Favreau as well. This is also described to be Lucas's way of regulating the sequel trilogy, and Dave Filoni will also be involved to an extent, and they are of course also focused on inserting the Force ghost of Ahsoka Tano into the sequel trilogy re-edit by George Lucas for Episode 9 in order to give fans something to look forward to. Rosario Dawson has already been approached to film a short scene as well to make this happen at the very end of Episode 9. So you guys may recall that when Episode 9 was being created, alright, at the time, they really didn't have, a decision made on who was going to play Ahsoka in The Mandalorian, Season 2 no less. They didn't really know exactly what they were doing just yet, so at the time, we didn't really know, what Ahsoka was going to be like in Episode 9, which is why we didn't really get her at all, period, in that scene. So now they're reverting and they are going to throw her in there and making it actually possible. So the thing about this too is that what they're trying to achieve is that this is basically additions, alright? Throwing in some cool little tidbits here and there throughout Episodes 7, 8, and 9 that's going to be really, game-changing for some of the scenes, really giving it new meaning and all. And you can only imagine the possibilities. That's just to name a few of the scenes that they have planned for the re-edits. Luke Skywalker's fate, the flashbacks being inserted as well of Luke Skywalker's past life, as well as the final duel, or battle if you will, between both Rey and Palpatine, inserting the Force Ghost visually speaking this time around, which by the way they already did, that was a deleted scene, but this time around they want to make it their own. Favreau and Filoni, along with Lucas as well now, they want to make it their own. They don't want to use the deleted scene. That goes to show us that maybe that deleted scene wasn't all as great as it was made out to be, perhaps, but who knows? I think that at the end of the day, this is really going to reflect on the fans come 2024. I know it's a ways out, and you know what? It'll be here before you know it on Disney+. The only thing I disagree with is that they're throwing this on Disney+. I feel what they should do is that they should just throw this on a Blu-ray and let fans enjoy it, and that's it. Maybe they will later down the road, but so far it's just intended for Disney+, and not everyone has a subscription, let's be honest. So overall guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.